Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. So this is number 2 in a series of 7 tutorials that I've done using the Dinkles powders. So I did this one as a background on a tutorial. I will add the link into this in the description at the bottom to show you how I have done these backgrounds. And then now, once they were dried, I then have done cards out of them. So I'm going to show you how I have done this one. So with this particular one, I have used the oak leaves. These are all Lavinia stamps. So I've used the oak leaves around the edge. And I've used Serene to stamp with. And she's embossed. So I'll show you how I have done that. But on this one, I'm going to use different stamps because it's an oval card. I don't want to put her on an oval card. So I'm going to show you how I have done that using different stamps. So we're going to be using May. So to start off with, we need a stamp press. And we'll just pop that into place. And we'll put May on there. So I want her pretty well centered. Actually, no, I might have her down a little bit to one side. Okay, pop her onto there. Now I'm going to be stamping with Versamark. Now Versamark is a clear sticky ink that is used when you're doing embossing, because it makes the embossing powder stick. Just make sure, even if you do it lots and lots and lots, it's best to do a lot of it to make sure it's all covered, because it's clear. You won't really be able to see if you've got it all until it's embossed, and by then it'll be a little bit too late. So give it a really good coverage. And then we're going to stamp her onto the card. We're going to give it a good press to make sure it all goes on. And hopefully it all works. I have had this fail where I haven't inked it up properly, or I haven't pushed it down properly. Hopefully it doesn't happen here. Okay, then we shall remove that from there. And we'll just get a scrap of paper. Now I'm going to be using the Wow Embossing Powder Opaque Bright White Superfine. And we're going to sprinkle that all over the card. I'd rather do too much and know that I've got it all than have to come back and do it again. Tap off the excess. Oh, I think it looks good. Looks like we've got her all. And we'll just pop this back into here so I don't spill it. Now I'm going to use my heat gun, so it's going to be a little bit noisy. But when you're using a heat gun, heat it up first before you put it to the card. If you don't have a heat gun, before I got my heat gun, I used to hold it over a toaster and you could watch it all melting. But the heat gun is definitely easier. Okay. So then we're going to melt the embossing powder. So if you just hold it, or maybe I'll go from this end, and you'll see it changing once it's melted. There it goes. So as it melts, just move your heat gun along. There we go. I think that's got it all. Now make sure it is nice and cool before you do your next step. I learnt the hard way, and I touched them once and it was still hot and sticky, and I just smudged it and it went everywhere and it was no good. So I'm just straightening the card out a bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to be using the Lavinia Elements Midnight Blue, and I'm just going to go over the embossed image with this ink. So just lightly, you can always go darker, but we'll just do it lightly and just keep adding it until we've got the depth of colour that we want. What I'm doing now is basically making it look like there's going to be a shadow behind her. So what I'm doing in this tutorial, you could do on any of the backgrounds that I will be showing you. So this is number 2 of 7. And if you'd like to join my Facebook groups, please feel free. I'll add the links in the description. Okay, so now, using some paper towel, we're just going to gently rub over the embossing to remove the ink, and it will then make her stand out more. So this is like a resist technique that we're using here. Okay, so there you go. So now it looks like she's got shadow behind her. So now, using the Midnight Blue again, I'm just going to go round the edge of the card. Now, this particular card is, I think, 6 by 4 inches. And the only reason I've done it as 6 inches is because it needed to hold the gel plate that I've used to do the oval. Like I said, I'll add the link below to the tutorial where I made these backgrounds so you can see how they were done and what was used. Okay, so just keep going until you've got the depth of colour that you like. I'll just do it a bit darker on the corners. And you don't, like I say, you don't have to use these stamps. You can use anything. I just like the Lavinia stamps. Okay, so there's that done. So now we're going to do some hills. So to do hills, I'll just tear up some paper and just create some hills. So I'm going to be using VersaFine Clad Nocturne. So I'm just going to pop some ink on that and create a hill for her tree to be on. And I might put some more hills in the background as well. And we'll do another hill here. There we go. So now you can see there where I've put a little bit more ink onto the embossing, so we'll just wipe that off. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is, where did I put them? So I've got some little fairy charms here. So we might use the little bell one. Just pop that onto there. Ink that up with Nocturne. And we'll have that sitting in her hand. Just wipe off that excess ink. Don't want that on the card now. And we'll just pop a little mask up here because I don't want it to go all the way onto the top of the card. Just pop that into place. Just give the ink time to soak into the paper. Here we go. And now we'll just add a little bit of glitter. So what I've got here, this is a Zig two-way glue pen. And I'm just going to do some dots of glue. Just randomly. That's probably enough. And I'm going to use the glitter Star Brights holographic. Again, it's a Lavinia glitter. So I'll just get some paper, add the glitter. And it's up to you how much you want to add. I don't want a huge amount. And there it is. So it's so easy to do. And then you can make a matte layer. So do your matte layer about 1/4 of an inch bigger than your card, and then do your base card 1/4 of an inch bigger than that. So depending on the colour that you use, I mean this is a smaller card obviously, but you will end up with something like that once it's all put together. And you can pick a matte colour card to suit what you're doing. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, do give me the thumbs up, and please feel free to subscribe to be notified when more tutorials are posted. Thank you for joining me, and see you all again soon. Bye.